Hello, everyone.
There you go. Now you can hear.
Oh, hello, everyone.
Hail, hail, the gang's all here.
Oh, good. There's a little reminder that pops up. Are you responsible for that?
I love the no. Yeah, no. I mean, yes, I'll take responsibility for every good, wonderful thing that happens. Okay, we would love to hear from you and have you pop into the chat thread so we can see where you're joining us from. Most of you, we can see your names. Hi, Shardy, Kelly, Linda, Bonnie, Carrie. So glad. Tiff, Shardy says, Tiff, you'll appreciate this with your love of food. I'm so excited as my nettle tea and maple pecan nut butters have arrived.
Nice.
Just about to tuck in.
Nice.
That is wonderful. Hi, Faruza from England, Cecilia from Texas. Hi, Brooke. It's good to see you here with us. Kelly from Australia. It's just a great day. We have some amazing things to talk about today. And we are also on the first day of retrograde. And Tiff and I had our retrograde moment for the first day of retrograde before we started recording our podcast.
Are you going to tell the story with all your theatrics?
Yes, I am going to.
Because we just did our podcast and his story is very much theatrical. I was like, did I really sound like that? So
first of all, before I get into the theatrics, I just want to let you know, you guys get the inside scoop. We've been recording our podcast. It has been called the Tiff and Jack Show podcast for, what is it, our 5th year?
Yeah.
5th year. So we've been doing our podcast every week and we are changing the name. We're rebranding our podcast and it's going to now be called Unstoppable Empath Podcast with Tiff and Jack.
I like it.
Because it's really, really interesting that it's important, I should say, for us to have a lot of clarity. So when people are scrolling through all the podcasts, they'll see empath and know they found home, right? If you're a highly sensitive person, you've questioned, am I an empath? If you've never heard the word empath, you just probably are thinking, what's wrong with me? Because people tell me I'm too sensitive. Or they're like, why are you always feeling so many feelings? Why are you so touchy-feely? Why are you so sensitive? You're like, because I was made this way. Dum-dum.
We don't suggest you call people names,
but you can if
maybe
you
in your mind.
So that's the big breaking news. I just designed our new cover and it will look exactly like the podcast cover right now, but I just changed the title to Unstoppable Empath Podcast and it looks so good. I'm so excited. I'll pull it up on my phone if I can find it while Tiff is doing some of her talking. So I can show you.
You're teaching this class. I'm not doing
anything.
Okay,
fine. I'll teach the class.
Hi, Paula.
So the message today, the topic today, the title today is the forgotten, what is it? Oh boy, the forgotten secret of you living your best life.
Your happiest life, yeah.
But it's like what we are talking about today is a lost art.
Yep.
Legitimately a lost art, especially I would say in the United States of America. And I'm sure extends into other countries. Australia, Kelly, you'll have to give us feedback after we start talking about the topic. Canada, probably similar in some ways.
UK, too. I don't know.
They might be a little more progressive than we are.
I know France is. So we are going to be talking about, before we start talking about the secret is we're going to do our Rebel Deck.
Well, I thought before that I was going to talk about the pig eye.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so retrograde's here. Like, yay, retrograde.
Mercury, because we're already in Venus retrograde. So your relationships can have some little upheavals here and there. But we're in it. Today's the first day of Mercury retrograde. We've been in the pre-phase, which sometimes is worse than the main one. So go ahead. And
Okay, so I'm driving.
Tell
home from
your
wo-
story.
So I'm driving home from work. This morning was a really full project. I'm working on a project. I'm not quite done. I got to work at 8, sat down. I always do my morning little ritual before I start my day to get all the magic in place. And then I start working, and I worked nonstop, watching the clock, knowing I had to be walking out the door by 12:15 so I could be home at 12:30. I get in the car, I'm driving towards home, and a really amazing photograph pops up on my phone. I glance at it because I am a very good, careful driver. I glance at it. I see it's a gorgeous picture of Mrs. Sexy. Sent me a photograph. I'm like, wow, that is a great photo. So I voice dialed Tiff so that I could call her and chat with her on the 7 minutes it was going to take me to get home. And as I'm driving, we're chatting, and she was, talking about how amazing her picture was.
I wasn't talking about
I was. And I'm telling the story. And so then, and I was still rushing. Like I hadn't gotten present.
Y'all know how I feel about rushing.
Yeah, she doesn't like it. So I was really in a hurry. I was really my energy was really busy and really fast. Probably felt a little aggressive. And she goes, yeah, like, how are you feeling? Has it been a rough work morning, or what's going on? And I'm like, yeah, I got a lot going on. I start in on my story, about what a hard worker I am, blah, blah, blah. Right. And she goes, well, listen, you better clear that energy off before you get home, because I can already feel it coming. And she was irritated, weren't you?
Yes, but I didn't sound like.
Well,
keep in mind,
she was irritated. I have to
theatrics are happening.
I have to share the energy of it, because while her words could lie, the energy, energy always.
I just said, do you think that you'll be able to clear out that energy so you don't bring it at home? Because I'm already feeling anxious. That's what happened.
But it was with a little more power behind the words. And I go, okay, you know what? This is true. I got clear really quick. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of being a dick. I'm in a hurry. I'm a rush. I'm not being present. I'm still in my work and not being able to finish that thing I was doing before I walked out the door. I'm like, okay. So I just did this with my hands, like shook it all off. I'm like, okay, I got this. I get home, I come in, and what did you do? What was the very next thing?
Well, you said that I gave you the pig eye.
Well, the energy was like
whatever.
Pig eye energy. Even if she didn't give me the actual pig eye.
I was very upset because I felt like, he was in his way, and I wish he wouldn't call me when he is that way, so he can clear his energy, because I just feel pretty good. That's most fair. Of the time. And he just gets busy. I don't like that busy, frantic energy. So I was a little miffed, but I didn't say anything, and I don't recall giving him a pig eye, but whatever.
It was the pig eye with the energy. She didn't give me the exact pig eye, but the pig eye was coming towards me. I could feel it. And I go, what did I say? I said, are you shaming me?
No, he said, he sat down at my desk and he goes, I'm feeling so much better. And I said, well, I'm glad you are. And he goes, are you shaming me? And I said, probably. Which I don't usually do.
Now, I said, are you shaming me right now? Pause. Probably. I go, nice.
It hurt his feelings. And then I feel definitely get crap.
So then
I'm like, oh my God, this is retrograde happening right now.
It was true retrograde, where things just are bigger than they really are, and there's miscommunication. But we worked through it really quick. She sat here by me, and I said, can we play nice now? Can we have?
You're like, will you come back to the party?
Can you come back to the party? She's like, all right, fine. And she gave me a nose kiss because she had her lipstick all on for the show, and here we are. That's how you handle retrograde.
That's so mild compared to what we've experienced before.
Our biggest fights have definitely occurred during retrogrades.
Yeah, but we're not having that this time.
No, we aren't. No way. So today, here we are. We're going to start out with the tarot card reading. We're Tiff and Jack. If you don't know who we are Tiff and Jack. And we love empaths, and we love helping you trust yourself and accept yourself and feel more confident and expand your gifts. We're all about that for you. We will stand for you all day long for the rest of forever. Okay.
That's true.
It is true. And before we jump in, listen, we just put our registration page live for it'll be the 4th Empath Lab that we're doing. This one's called the Unstoppable Empath Lab because that's the new title, right? Unstoppable Empath, because that's who you are. The lab is a 5-day workshop. It's totally free. If you've been there before, come again. You will walk away feeling even more confident and sure of yourself than you ever have before. To register, okay, if you have a pen or a pencil, and I'll type it in the thread, or somebody here, type it in the thread, empathrising.com.
Yep.
empathrising.com. That's where you go. You're going to register and make sure that you enter, you'll put your name and your email. And we ask for your Facebook name because we have mentors that actually come in and work with all the mentees, all the people that register for the workshop that want an empath mentor as a guide through the workshop. You got one if you want one, but we need to make sure your Facebook name and your name matches. You'll get it. Like when you go to register, you'll understand it all. We also ask for your phone number because this time we will be sending out reminders as a text reminder. That's the only thing we'll be using your telephone number for. We won't stalk you. It's kept totally secure, but we will send reminders to your phone. So you know when we're doing our live show and when we're going live with our lab. So empathrising.com. Get your seat saved right now. Okay.
There it is. Thank you. Whoever typed that in. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you. All of you.
Okay, everyone. We're getting ready to do our tarot reading. So get your question. And I have just I'm going to make this really simple for you. If there's any situation in your life you need an answer to, that's why you'll just say in your mind, universe, what do you want me to know about this situation? And we'll pull the answer from the card. So go ahead and get clear on your question. Think it clearly in your mind. And you're the
I've got my question.
Okay, great.
Yep.
So I'm going to go in now and pull the cards because it's time. Ooh, this is a good one. And here we have it.
Okay,
what's your question?
My question is, what do I need to know so that this Mercury retrograde will be the smoothest one I've ever had?
Ooh,
right? Card number 1. Stop fucking whining. I'm sure this is for me. No one wants to listen to that shit. Complaining makes you weak. You have the strength to change your world, so do it. God, that's a good one. Card number 2, lightning sign. Figure shit out on your own. Got it. Can do that. And number 3, you do you. Stop trying to change people. That shit never works. That's mine too.
It is. Who are you trying to change?
Well, anyone. This is going to, if I try to change you, oh boy, retrograde's going to get real shitty real fast. Okay, the first one again, stop fucking whining. No one wants to listen to that shit. Complaining makes you weak. You have the strength to change your world. Now do it. Lightning, figure shit out on your own. You do you. Stop trying to change people. That shit never works.
Okay, guys. So if you will, please share your number. Which one?
What was your answer today? Mine was definitely 1 and 3. And also 2. I think all of the cards were right on the money for me. Cecilia said number 2. Definitely number 3, Facebook user number 2. There we go. Brooke, number 3. Right? Yeah. Isn't this amazing? So now I know, no complaining. I need to keep doing my daily brain dump and thought tracking and stop trying to control people.
You always point to me.
Stop trying to control people. So there you go. Those are your cards.
Good job,
Kelly,
guys.
Number 3, Kelly Verstraight, number 3, Mary, number 1, Fruza, number 2, Facebook user 2 and 3, Carrie Anton, you and me, all 3. Nice.
Good.
That's fun. I love that. I love the Rebel deck.
I do too.
I love it.
I love anything irreverent because it delights me. And I'm all about delight. And we're going to be talking today about the lost art, the lost secret of what really gives us a happy life. Now, I know we talk about things that can make you happy all the time. We've talked about aspects of this, but we have just been reading a book. Nope, don't do it. Don't even. It's not time. The unfurling is not as of yet. So let's just talk about what the lost arts are, the lost art. And it is in mastering leisure and pleasure. Leisure and pleasure. Now, we've talked about pleasure before. We talk about leisure in kind of off topics, but I really want to go deep with this today because when you are running and running and running, and especially for people in the United States. Now, listen, we can speak because we live in the US. We live in the United States of Amerifunk. Okay. So it's a funky place to live. This is the Wild West. We're a bunch of renegades here. And so I'm not going to speak for other countries, but you can definitely speak for your own country if you're not living here in the United States. Yeah, I would love to know. But one of the issues here in the US is that people are working themselves to the bone. In fact, the book that we read was written in 2004. And I was reading in there that statistically Americans are rivaling the workforce and how hard they're working and working around the clock, even more than the Asian countries. And we've always known that Asian people work. Well, Americans are the same. In fact, in 2004, it may have changed at this point, but in 2004, the United States of America is the only country that doesn't, by law, give a paid vacation at the workplace. I was like, oh no. And it probably hasn't changed. If you want to look it up, you can, but that was back, 18 years ago. So this book that we were reading, we're always in a state of study. We study. And one of the most important things for empaths is to learn self-care and to take time off from working so much and helping other people so much. Not that we're not here to help and assist people in their healing process, but we have to take care of ourselves. And that comes through leisure and pleasure. So let me give you the definition of leisure and pleasure, because let me tell you something. People get stressed out of their mind with the word pleasure. They're like, are we talking about orgasms? Well, we could be, but I mean, pleasure is so much more than just sexual stuff. Okay. So pleasure, the definition of pleasure is so lovely and simple. It's the feeling of happy satisfaction and enjoyment. And leisure is free time. Okay. And I'm going to let Jack kind of take it from here because he is the guy to talk about leisure and pleasure, because when we met, he didn't have any. And he does now.
I definitely was true to form, one of those work, drop in bed, get up, go to work, get busy, run. And it was my MO. There's no question about it. I was born of a farmer and a rancher, and you work really hard all day, most of the night. In the winter when the cows are calving, you sleep in your clothes and your jacket and your boots. And he would sit in his chair, and my mom would put a rug, and he would just lay down in the chair, go to sleep, set a timer, wake up at 1 a.m. to go out, make sure none of the cows had calves that he missed, walk through the fields. And it was a very big ranch, and make sure the animals are alive, make sure the water's not freezing, and chip the ice out of the water so the animals had something to drink, and go out and feed them their food. And, I remember Christmas mornings when we would get up and have to wait. We'd wait until we went out and fed the cows so that we then could open presents, because, your cows they don't wait. They have to be fed. They're reliant upon you in the winter, especially. And so that was just like, I'm bred that way. That is my life. That's the way I see the world. So when I met Tiff, how many years ago? 16 this year. When I met Tiff so many years ago, she introduced me to an entirely new world of pleasure and leisure. Because free time, to me, I definitely had limiting beliefs. My thoughts around free time is that taking free time would make me lazy. I wouldn't get done what I needed to do. I'd run behind. And not only that, the deeper meaning for me with all the inner work I've done over it was that I wouldn't be worthy of love. I wouldn't be enough. I'd be falling short. All those stories that we tell ourselves, and those thoughts create our life. Because when we think those thoughts, they push a feeling always. Our thoughts come first, then our feelings, and then our action. And when I'm coming from a place of believing, oh, I'm lazy, then I work harder, then I'm totally distracted, totally disconnected, and my relationships all suck. So it plays out all around us. And my beliefs about work and busyness, I've been working on this for a good long time on different angles and avenues with my thoughts so that I can find my leisure and I can find my pleasure. And Tiff and I remember when I first met Tiff, I would wake up every single day at 4:30 in the morning so I could go work out for an hour, hour and a half. Then I would come
What time
home.
did you get up?
4:30 a.m.
Oh, I thought you said 6:30. I'm like, it was 4:30.
Yeah. I'd get up at 4:30 and then I'd go work out because I never wanted to take time away from anyone else because I didn't even exist in the equation. It was like, I just got to get all my stuff done so everyone else has everything they need all the time. It's a really sick way to live, and it leaves you feeling really hollow and you feel really shut down and disconnected from your life. Hence the reason that we're talking about one of the biggest issues that we can see, especially in the culture, in the American culture, is overworking. Not enough pleasure, not enough leisure, not enough time taken every day to counterbalance the amount of work that's going in. And I know, especially during the pandemic, hearing from some of our clients, many of you are doing the job of 2 or 3 people now because of people that are no longer, there aren't enough employees. And so you're carrying the load. And one of my clients, awesome, amazing client that I love dearly, I remember the conversation I had with her and I said, they don't get the best of you. Like, why are we giving the very best of us to a company that, like, if you show up and you put your time in and you work your hours that you're committing to, but when you start working through every lunch or you work overtime every single day and you don't have that balance, your cup is empty. Well, I met Tiff and I was an empty cup, completely, absolutely drained.
I came into your life to fill you up, babe.
Seriously. So I started taking naps, and because she's like, why don't you take a nap? I'm like, well, I don't know, because I'm not supposed to. And she's like, what's wrong with you? Why won't you take a nap? And the other thing was I would never, ever, like, can I tell you, I have a love affair with hamburgers. I love hamburgers. I love a bacon cheeseburger with Swiss cheese. Okay. I love
and
it.
Fries
with
and
really,
fry sauce.
Really good bacon on that bacon cheeseburger. And
can I just share really quick? I am just going to interject. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
When I met Jack, he told me, and he wasn't joking, he had never in his entire life bought himself his own hamburger and fries. Never one time.
No, I was always on a diet.
I was like, what? We're going to go right now and you're going to get your own burger and fries. And he's like, no, I can't do that. And I'm like, just once. You just have to say you've done it once. And now he's still eating
never
burgers.
Stopped. I love burgers.
Was like, what in the hell?
It is my go-to.
Is that no one, you haven't had and a burger and fries. Like
I know.
I couldn't believe how controlled you were and how there was no leisure or pleasure in your life experience. And I had a completely different experience.
Yeah. Now today I often laugh and call myself an ethical hedonist. And a hedonist can have a pretty negative connotation. And it just so happens to be the name of the book. The Hedonism Handbook, Mastering the Lost Arts of Leisure and Pleasure. And this book is an interesting book. It has some really great scientific facts that help you understand why we're so effed up in the head when it comes to pleasure and leisure.
Yeah.
Especially here in the United States, specifically speaking for our country that way. And it helps us understand also what happens, what goes by the wayside when we don't legitimately take time with ourselves in a day to just do nothing other than feel good or put our feet up on purpose or whatever it is that gives you a sense of time off and some pleasure that gives you a feeling of pleasure and delight.
And, there is the word hedonism, being a hedonist, it's got such a negative connotation. And let me tell you, if I ever see a book that has a racy title that most people are like, oh, I would never read that, I buy it and read it. because I always appreciate people that are brave enough to push against the grain, because I'm a person just like that. And the book has been very, very enlightening about the history of pleasure and leisure. And I'm always studying, both Jack and I, we're always studying deeply the things that we know are going to help our students and our clients and our audience. And pleasure and leisure is so critical. And I am married to a man that did not have a lot of pleasure or leisure before he met me. And I have more pleasure and leisure in my life now than I ever have. But it doesn't mean that I'm a proponent, or Jack is a proponent of just live a life of total pleasure and leisure, and don't worry about work,
then
or
it
don't
wouldn't
do
feel
this.
like pleasure anymore.
No.
Because the balance, we have to have the contrast so we can actually enjoy both sides.
So, moderation is really a beautiful thing. And I am probably more moderate in my life now than I've ever been. I've always been a bit of an extremist. But I live a very moderate life now with everything, but I put everything in a day. And this is a wonderful place for me to be. And I'm really speaking a lot about it because so many of us, and I would like to know any of you from other countries.
I will tell you, Kelly.
Okay, just a second. Kelly has shared, but I would like to hear where you live and what the belief is about pleasure and leisure. If you're all working like Americans are, where you just work and you don't really take vacations. I mean, some Americans take vacations, but gosh, I know a lot of people that they have some paid time off that they can take, but they won't take it because they just feel like they should keep working. I'm like, oh my God. So we're all about adding a little leisure and pleasure into every day so that the process of life is good. Because if you're running and you're working and you're doing all those things to get done so you can finally get to the finish line, the finish line never comes.
It doesn't.
Ever.
It doesn't.
So you have to have it in your days. And with my brain injury a couple of years ago, I had to stop doing absolutely everything. All I could do was sit in a dark room for months as my brain was healing. And I learned a lot about leisure, and I learned a lot about pleasure. And you know why I learned about pleasure? I was working with a coach because I had taken some medication that injured my brain, and I was trying to heal my brain. And she said, while you're in this process, you need to do some things that you enjoy. So I started doing pleasurable things as a distraction so that I wouldn't be focused on how horrible I was feeling from my brain injury. I couldn't breathe and I couldn't eat and I was in so much pain. So I started learning new things and really adding some pleasure into my life. And I had to do all in free time. And I learned the value of this as an empath. And so we're bringing this message to you today because I'm telling you, you have got to get leisure and pleasure into your life, or
into
life
your day
sucks.
It's not just planning the vacation, like Tiff just said. It's not, sure, plan the vacation, fine. I mean, we're all working around a pandemic, yes, and plan your vacation, but we're talking about leisure and pleasure in your day. And I just want to speak a little bit to what's been going on in the thread hill here. Kelly was saying in Australia, it really is, you work to live. They love their holidays. They love their time off. It feels really good. Right now, there's a lot going on with COVID rearing its head, us too, like it's everywhere in the world with the Omicron variant. And we're going to be a voice of reason. Just hang tight, right? And Kelly said everyone's rushing to try to get rapid antigen tests. Yes, all of that is happening. Remember, we can set our intentions. We can trust. We can surrender. No, and at the end of it, make sure you get a little pleasure and leisure in every day that keeps your frequency higher and keeps you energetically feeling better, right? And so it is live to work. In America, it is definitely live to work.
Yeah, it is.
And in Portugal, Kelly Verstraete says people totally balance leisure and pleasure with their hard work. They work hard and they play hard. They live life so fully. It's the answer.
It is.
It is a lost art here.
And I have always appreciated the French and the Spanish because of the time that they take to really enjoy and feel the passion of food and drink and life and connection.
Siesta.
Oh my God. It speaks to me. And I have lived this kind of life my whole life, but it's never really matched the country that I live in. So when I did meet Jack, I was like, maybe you need a nap. Why are you getting up so early? And why do the kids have say over your life instead of you having a say over your own life and the kids? Like there was just a lot happening. And I feel very I can say it. I mean, I brought leisure and pleasure into your life, and you brought stability and organization.
Yeah, we did.
It's a really great balance. And I live a very pleasureful, leisurely life, but I also run a movement and a business and do all kinds of things, but I do it every day. So I have moderation in all those things each day. And that makes life really enjoyable as you're living it. I'm not waiting to get to the next vacation, because this is what happens. You work your ass off. You finally get to a vacation. You have a little breakdown when vacation starts, because you're like, what if it doesn't
overwork?
What if it doesn't?
It's got to all be perfect.
Yeah. What if it doesn't turn out the way that I thought? And then you get into the vacation, work through that. And then at the end of the vacation, it's like, oh my gosh, now I got to go back to work and I'm so stressed. Instead of like, let's just do what we did was create a vacation lifestyle.
Hers was a little more vacation than mine.
Yeah.
Mine this last week just got more vacation than it's ever been.
Yeah.
My vacation
Did
lifestyle.
you talk about that yet?
No, I haven't talked about that. I want to speak really quick to, I am so grateful we have you here with us from all different parts around the world. So we just heard about Portugal. We heard about Australia. Definitely love to holiday and pleasure. Let's see. Kelly, holiday is a great word. Let's see, where did I see that? Luann said, I love the word taking a holiday instead of taking a vacation. In the UK, Feruza said, people take holiday and time off 6 weeks paid vacation. 6 weeks.
How brilliant
and if
is
you're
that?
Sick, and if you're sick, you get full pay from work.
Amazing.
Holy cow.
That is amazing. Not how the Americans do it.
Holy cow.
And they should, because people are working themselves into a dither.
Yeah, we're exhausted. We're overworked. We're mad. We're upset. We
anxious,
have
depressed,
serious fear of missing out.
Addictions.
We're just pushing ourselves so hard. In fact, I want to read this one quote from this book because it is so brilliant. Okay, a good hedonist, I mean, that's all of us that take a little leisure and pleasure every day. A good hedonist knows that leisure is not a luxury or an indulgence, but a true necessity of life. And it is during leisure time that the best things in life take place. Meaningful conversation, thoughtful reflection, spontaneous laughter, human connections rarely occur on a treadmill. Are you hearing me? Work, exercise, and achievement, when practiced in moderation, have their place in the bigger picture, but life is also made up of small moments of joy, periods of unbridled freedom, and daily pleasures that must be carefully selected and savored. That's what we're talking to you about today.
Yeah, I just, one of the things I struggle with as an empath, and I'm sure many of you can relate, let me know, is when you're trying to have a conversation with someone and you can't really connect because they're just so lost in busyness or on their phone. God, when I'm talking to a friend, I put my phone down unless I'm talking through my phone. But if I'm at dinner with someone, I put my phone away because I really want to hear and I really want to feel and I really want to connect and I want to build intimacy with the people that I'm spending my time with. And I'm seeing less and less of it all the time. And I'm just like, why the fuck are we doing this? We are here to enjoy our lives, to indulge in all aspects of living, not just working our asses off, but working, enjoying, eating, drinking, laughing, dancing, talking, connecting, having sex, drinking wine. I mean, there's just so many beautiful things that we're here to enjoy, and so many people are not doing it. So many people are on a fucking diet. Now, listen, if you're on a diet, I'm not criticizing you, but if you spend your life on a diet and you can't enjoy the beautiful, amazing whole foods of life, wow, life's going to suck. So I do intermittent fasting, and I'm intermittent fasting all the time. But when I do eat, oh man, do I eat amazing things. And so there's ways to work with things in moderation for sure. I'm not saying go out and just spend all your time, free time, just do all free time and all pleasure, because then you're out of balance there as well. It's moderation, but I'm telling you, if you're going to live life with all of it, not just working or helping other people. You are here to enjoy the journey and the rat race that many of us are in, because we're running. There is no finish line, guys. It doesn't exist.
It's an illusion.
So you're just going to keep running and running and running.
It's an illusion all the way. And the message really that we're saying is find leisure and pleasure in every day.
Yes.
Right? So that you can actually enjoy your day, because today is the only day you've got. That was a pause.
I know. Purpose. I'm just thinking about that.
Today is the only day we've got.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was Paula just said Sweden actually spearheads the 4-day work week because employees are more productive.
Yes.
Katie Wilson, I get paid time off and volunteer time, but people save it up as a badge of honor.
Yep.
Not this girl.
Good
Not
girl.
this girl. Good. I use mine happily.
I'm so glad, Katie, that you do that.
Yep.
I love Sweden, and you are Swedish.
Yes, Lundqvist is my
and I have a 4-day work week. And let me tell you something. You know what sparked this in me to start even studying deeper as I was watching Emily in Paris. And it's such a great show.
It is.
And she said she's at a party and she's talking about business, and people are looking at her and walking away. And it's like, it is a party. We don't discuss business. Or if she talks about business on the weekend, it's so offensive. And can I just tell you what's so funny? Whenever I go to a social gathering and people talk about business,
do not talk to Tiff about business.
At
a party,
do not like it. I won't discuss it. I just shut my mouth and walk away, because I'm there to have pleasure, not to talk about business. And on weekends, I've told Jack, I'm like, I'm not doing business. I do a 4-day week. And then I have 3 days of doing other things that are very enjoyable to me. And my life feels very balanced. Not everybody has the option to do that, but if it's something you want, there's a way to do it. So yeah. And you are all deep feelers. So you've got to have that pleasure and leisure time just to recalibrate and enjoy life.
Okay. So in Canada, it said in Canada, we get 2 weeks vacation after 1 year of being at work at your place of work, a year. And then the longer you're there, the more vacation you get. You get sick, but it depends on sick leave, but it depends on where you work. So that does sound, I'm sure, very similar to the States. Luann said, when my ex heard about being able to receive 3 to 4 weeks of vacation, he asked why. What's the purpose? Like, what am I supposed to do? See, part of this is really living your best life now on purpose.
Yeah.
That we aren't just sitting and waiting for, the only thing our life exists for is to work. Then that gives us an opportunity to really think about our life and what do we want.
Yeah. And Americans really don't know what to do with time off. I'm not going to generalize everything, but listen, many people do not know what to do with time off. So here's some suggestions. Start a hobby, go dancing, have a dinner party,
read a hedonism book,
read books, do puzzles. Jack and I have the best time. And with COVID, things are a little tricky. It's not like we can just go outside without any concern or worry about, getting sick. Right now we're in the middle. It's not always going to be this way, but it is for now. So there's a lot of things that you can do at home. I just bought 3 300-piece puzzles, and I hate puzzles, but I bought them anyway because I'm going to change my mind. And so Jack and I can laugh and put together a puzzle, and I can build my brain a little bit. And we haven't been eating out as much as we usually do, because we've just noticed that the quality of food is very poor, and spending all that money on poor tasting food never works for me. And I am a chef in my own right. So I have just been buying my groceries and making amazing food for us to sit and enjoy with a glass of wine, and we talk, and we've just had the best week. Did you tell them about coming home at 5?
No. So this last week I made a decision for my life, because I've been really burning the candle at both ends on my work days, which I have a lot of those. And I'm like, I'm my own boss. What am I doing? And because I do my thought work and my self-inquiry every day, and I do my brain dumps every day, so I really am in touch with myself. I'm in touch with my thoughts. I'm in touch with my feelings. I'm in touch with what's working and what isn't. I get creative and decide what new thoughts I want to think so I can create a better feeling life. And Tiff, when I was sick just before Christmas, I had a really bad cold, came back as negative for COVID, really bad cold, 3 weeks solid, a month before I even started feeling better. And I had to take 2 weeks off of seeing clients, which meant I have to book them back in and get time. And Tiff just brought this suggestion. She goes, have you ever thought about just doing only client days, 2 of the days a week, and the other 3 days just do business? And it just resonated with me so strong. And I could feel that was probably a pretty good answer. So I jumped and did it. I made the decision. I reworked my whole schedule, moved all my clients. So it's on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Then Tiff and I always have Friday date day. We always have Sunday off together. And then one weekend a month, we take a 3-day weekend where in the past we've done little getaways where we go to wine vineyards and do different things. With Omicron, with the pandemic, it's a little different. We'll all get through this. But so life is really good when you get to do it on purpose. But even when you get to plan it on purpose, if you're not really stopping and taking a look at your life and making new decisions, do you really think you're going to have a new experience? If you keep making the same decisions. And I just read right here in Canada, my husband banks his holiday time off because he's so busy at work and doesn't take time off. This is the only life we've got.
Yeah.
This day is our only day. And if we can find some pleasure and leisure in this day and connect deeply with our friend, our lover, our partner, our pet, ourselves,
yeah.
If we can just connect deeply in some way today and get some pleasure somewhere, then you've won. You've won the race. Because that's what it's all about. I lived that way of pushing so hard, even when we reworked our schedule and I'd take a 3-day weekend when I could, but I was working 15 and 16-hour days all the other days. And I was just so exhausted and miserable and angry. I'm like, this isn't working.
He came home this week every day by 5.
It was like I had an entire day ahead of me. It felt so
We ate
good.
dinner together. We were
amazing.
able to talk and laugh and watch some shows without Jack falling asleep. Because when he'd get home, he was so exhausted. He'd just zonk out on the couch. And I just, I'm pretty self-contained. So I can keep myself very pleasured by looking at Pinterest or reading books or whatever it is that I do.
You are really good at balance.
Yeah. And, I just thought this is just how he is, but he made some different decisions so that he does not burn himself out. And it was the best week, you guys. So
amazing.
We're really living what we're talking about with you. And we're here to assist you and give you ideas and strategies to make some changes in your life so that life feels more enjoyable, especially when everything around us seems to be a little nutty right now with the pandemic. There's things that you can do that will bring time into your life that actually feels good. Even if it's getting in the car, if you have one, and going on a drive and listening to your favorite music and thinking about what you're creating in your life and getting excited about it. There's just things you can do. So it's really important that you take this to heart because this will give you balance and a happy life.
Yep. And I'd like to challenge you and ask you right now, who's willing to commit? And I want you to commit here in the thread so you can write it out so we can all see it, that you're willing to commit to some pleasure/leisure in every single day. I don't care what day it is. I don't care if it's a work day, that you're willing to commit, that every single day you're going to take a chunk of time on purpose for your leisure and pleasure. If you are willing to commit to that, say, I commit in the thread so we can see it and see that who's willing to commit to a little bit of leisure and pleasure on purpose every day. I'm willing to commit.
Thank God.
I'm willing to commit.
Because I've got plans for us.
Well, tomorrow is date day. Okay,
Oh,
I
that's
commit.
so exciting. Good job, you guys.
I commit.
Good.
Bonnie, I commit. Good, Bonnie. You got this. I commit. Good. Kelly Verstrade, I commit. Kelly Percival, I commit. Done and done. Cecilia, I'm getting decent at that. Good. Cecilia, I commit. I'm committing. Linda, I've already been doing it. More me time. Good. Tristy, hi, Tristy. I commit. Jackie, good. Jackie, I commit. Jackie Nightingale, yes, the Danes are like this. I read Made in Denmark. They are very family oriented. Leave work early on Fridays to get home for family time.
That's so
Beautiful.
great. Yep.
Carrie, I commit. Paula, I commit, but I feel I already do it. Good on you.
Good.
Good on you. Okay, so that's our message for today. Leisure and pleasure. Ethical hedonism. Do it.
Yeah,
Find
if
the
you want to
balance.
read the book, it's got very interesting facts going all the way back, talking about hedonism and how we got so whacked out about pleasure and like we can't enjoy pleasure. It tells you why, and there's a reason, and it's just really very informative. And I also have another book coming. I believe it's called French Women Don't Get Fat, something like that, because they eat the most amazing food in the world and stay lean. And it's all about enjoying the pleasures of life in moderation. And I'm so excited to read that. I'm very
that'll be fun.
Deep study for Tiff so that I can share everything that I learn. And we just love it.
And
It's
I think
just great.
tomorrow for our pleasure and leisure on day, we're going to have an appetizer palooza.
Oh, an hors d'oeuvres day.
An hors d'oeuvres day. We're going to make all sorts of hors d'oeuvres. And
so Jack and I, we live and breathe by intermittent fasting because it's just good. It's just good for us. Thank you, honey.
Sorry. That's the Hera.
And so we have one day a week, which is our date day, that we just eat whatever we want, really. And I have made a very grown-up decision. Anyone that knows me knows that I have a serious addiction to boba drinks. And I would have probably 4 or 5 big boba drinks every week. And it doesn't cause any problems, but it certainly does not assist in any pounds if I want to lose any at all. So I've made a decision to have 1 boba a week. Remember, I'm talking about moderation. So 1 boba a week. And I've been doing that. And life, I think, is better because my inflammation is down a bit and I do feel quite a bit better. But tomorrow's boba day. So I'm like, will I give up a couple of hors d'oeuvres for a boba? Or, well, we'll see. We'll see. But tomorrow's, I think we'll just do hors d'oeuvres day.
That's going to be so fun. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to like cooking up some bacon on something. Like some of the hors d'oeuvres, I just need some bacon. I can just feel it. Right here, it has to be Helen. When you're talking about the book, French Women Don't Get Fat. And I think Helen said, not in Canada, they do get fat. That is so funny. Jackie said, I just discovered a boba shop that opened up in Horsham. That is amazing.
Good. Did you get a boba yet, Jackie? Because you got to do it. And then send me a message and let me know how you like it.
I'm all about the bacon wrapped jalapenos.
Okay, listen, I got this amazing Southern cookbook for Christmas from one of our students, and she's such a dear heart. And she sent me this gorgeous book. So I've been reading it, like really reading it.
She reads it like a novel.
Yeah. And I'm going to make like Southern fried chicken, like real Southern fried chicken. But they have this hors d'oeuvre in there that is club crackers, and it's wrapped with a little bit of bacon and brown sugar on it. And you cook it at low degrees in the oven until the bacon caramelizes with the brown sugar. And Jack wants that so bad.
Crunchy, salty cracker.
It doesn't really appeal to me, but he's like keeps begging me. So tomorrow might be a surprise hors d'oeuvre.
We'll take pictures. We love you guys. Thank you for being here with us. It's always a true pleasure for us to see you here. So thank you for that gift. You're a blessing in our world. Thank you. Again, if you missed it, go register for our upcoming Unstoppable Empath Lab. It's a week-long workshop. It's totally free. It's one of our big events that we do 4 or 5 times a year. This is the first one for 2022. It starts February 7th.
Yep.
And you register for that. Save your seat. Register at empathrising.com. Get your seat saved today, and it's going to be a party. Love you guys. Everybody have a great day.